If you and I have anything in common, we probably don't want Trump to win again this year. My main concern is that it's just unrealistic to think that Joe Biden can win. Whether that means you're voting for a Democrat or Green Party or an independent like RFK Jr., it ultimately all comes down to who is the Democratic candidate going up against Donald Trump this year. Despite millions of people calling for President Joe Biden to step down from the candidacy this year after that really unfortunate debate performance that was incredibly uncomfortable for all of us to watch, as of right now, it looks as though they are keeping Joe Biden in as their candidate for this year, despite the fact that it's looking, according to all the polls, like he's not likely to beat Donald Trump again this time. Millions of people on the left wing of America have been strongly calling for Joe Biden to step down from the candidacy due to the fact that we cannot afford another 4 years of Donald Trump. And if things go the way that it realistically looks like they're going, Joe Biden doesn't have a shot this year. My kitty was bumping up on the camera. Love you, go away. Following the recent train wreck that was that recent presidential debate, a lot of Republicans have been calling for Joe Biden to stay in. Out of any of the Democratic candidates that could potentially run against Donald Trump this year, Republicans have said they want Joe Biden to stay in because they know that he is the weakest candidate the Democrats could run right now.
I hope that they run Joe Biden. That would be the easiest contest for Donald Trump to beat, would be Joe Biden.
Right.
So as much as I do believe they're going to select another candidate, I hope that they maintain with Joe Biden. I hope that that's their guy. And if that is the strongest candidate you have in the Democrat Party, that says a lot about the Democrat Party.
Many people argue Joe Biden won last time, he can do it again. But unfortunately, the reality is that this election cycle is looking a lot more like 2016 was rather than how 2020 was. In 2016, a lot of people believed it was a sure shot that Hillary Clinton would definitely win, and then she did not. Right now, it's looking like the Democrat Joe Biden is not going to be able to win. If we all thought that Hillary Clinton was definitely going to win as the Democrat and she still lost, then realistically, what are the Democrats' chances if they're running a candidate who people don't think can win? Because even when we ran a Democrat who we thought would definitely win, like Hillary, we lost to Trump. And now that we're running a candidate that we're all pretty sure is likely to lose, a lot of people still want to remain loyal to Joe Biden, which is understandable to Democrats who would prefer Joe Biden again over Donald Trump this year. Well, I understand that a lot of hardcore establishment Democrats are really loyal to Joe Biden and they really do like him as a person. If we're looking at it realistically, we've got to call for a different Democratic candidate if we want any chance at beating Donald Trump this year. And frankly, we can hold Joe Biden to his own word. When he was first running in 2020, he declared himself that he only intended to be a one-term president. Now that he's trying to run for a second term and his chances aren't looking that great, I think it's reasonable for us as the Democratic constituents to call for a candidate who's really got a strong chance of keeping Donald Trump out of that Oval Office this year. If for some reason you still believe that Joe Biden is the most likely candidate to defeat Trump this year, leave your comments down below and we can debate it down there. But as for me, as someone who really doesn't want to see another 4 years of Donald Trump, 4 or more years if he stays in for as long as he wants, my main concern is that it's just unrealistic to think that Joe Biden can win. Unrealistically, I would love for the Democrats to put in a candidate like Marianne Williamson, who already received 500,000 Democratic votes this year. She's the only Democratic candidate this year who has called for a ceasefire in Gaza, which is an incredibly important thing to so many Democrats, especially younger left-leaning people, to independents, even to right-wing people that really want to see a ceasefire in Gaza. People want an end to Netanyahu's genocidal war crimes. Marianne Williamson also calls for incredibly popular policies like Medicare for all. Marianne calls for public funding and free tuition to tech schools, community colleges, state colleges. These are all things that relatively every American voter wants to see, but no Democrat or Republican has the balls to call for it. Since the Democrats are beholden to their billionaire donors, I can't realistically picture the Democrats giving Marianne a fair shot. I believe Michelle Obama would ultimately be the greatest establishment Democrat choice that they could put in there. And this way, Joe Biden can step down gracefully with respect and nobility, and he'll be able to pass the torch down to a new leader of the Democratic Party. So what do you think? Let me know down below. Am I wrong?